I'm Alan Weiss, and this is The Writing on the Wall. Welcome back to The Writing on the Wall. This episode is Playing Not to Lose. Now, in the last episode, I talked about the fact that you have to get your head in the game. And you don't get far by beating lessers, by beating peers even. You get far by beating the best until you're the best. But today, people play not to lose. In the game of football, there's something called a prevent defense. And that means that if you're ahead by a considerable margin, you just sit back and you prevent the big play. You let the other team have smaller plays, but you prevent the big play. And this is supposed to preserve the victory for you. But so many times I've seen teams in a prevent defense lose. What it really is preventing you from winning because you're out of your game plan. You're no longer aggressive. You're no longer assertive. You don't take risks. You sit back and try to protect. That's not how the game is played. You can't play not to lose. In baseball today, managers remove pitchers who have a no-hitter. When I was young, you never touch a pitcher with a no-hitter. And pitchers tried to pitch all 9 innings. Today, a pitcher throws 3 or 4 innings, they bring in another pitcher. They remove somebody with a no-hitter. The thrill of the game is gone. The drama is gone. It's all statistics and analysis. Complying with every prospect request is playing not to lose. The customer isn't always right. The client will make requests that aren't legitimate. The expectations will be wrong. But if you comply because you're afraid of offending them, you're afraid of getting into an argument, you're playing not to lose. And you'll wind up being miserable with a lousy project, and the client will keep taking advantage of you because you're playing not to lose. Defensive driving is smart, but not no driving. My father told me when I was 17 and I was learning to drive, he said, always pretend the other guy will do the wrong thing. That's defensive driving, and I still practice that today. It's smart, especially here in Rhode Island. But deciding not to drive entirely because you're scared, so you never have anything happen to you, that's just dumb. Excessive health paranoia drives up cost. You can't look at every mole and assume it's melanoma. And so you have to be intelligent and educated and reasonable about what's happening to you. Stopping my scoring is useless if you don't score. So the prevent defense fails because you're stopping your own scoring. If you're ahead and you keep scoring, you can't lose. Unless they score even more than you do. And that can only happen in a prevent defense. You know, I listened to a lot of lawyers and my clients over the years. Sometimes they're on the board, sometimes they're on the executive committee, and they're always piping up with dumb advice. And I think that at an extreme, when you ask a lawyer a question, it's always the most conservative response a lawyer can think about, because all they're concerned about is playing not to lose. And so a lawyer will say to you, well, listen, don't open up the doors tomorrow. You know, don't unlock the doors, don't turn the lights on, send everyone home. Then nothing bad can happen. Well, you'll go out of business, but you won't be sued. Going too slow, playing not to lose, going too slow, means that you won't hit anybody in front of you, but you'll get hit from behind. I don't know if it's Mark Twain or Will Rogers. One of them said, maybe it's my ducks who were saying that, one of them said, one thing about being on the right track, if you just sit there, somebody will pass you on another track. So you can't just sit and play not to lose. You can't win long-term at poker unless you bluff sometimes. If you're in poker for the evening or night after night at the casinos, you cannot win if you don't bluff at times because you don't always have a good hand, and you can't just drop out if you have a bad hand. Everybody will figure out the game. And so you can't play not to lose. You have to play aggressively to win. I will tell you this, though. Playing not to lose does create one thing. Losers